Hi there Libra, thank you for joining me for your monthly forecast for May. And this month starts off rather intriguingly with a very intense collection of energy between the Sun and Mars in the part of your scope which is quite psychological, very much to do with unlocking mysteries, but also Mercury, the planet of communication, and Venus, your ruler, are collected in the part of your scope that's to do with new experiences and expansion. Perhaps the two areas are linked. The more you find out about your motivations, the more confidence it will give you to do something that's different and a little bit off the beaten track. But there's also two other influences, because Jupiter, the planet of hope, expansion and optimism, is in a square with the Sun. And if you are someone who's wanting to open up new opportunities around friendships, I just think you need to be realistic about some of the politics that could be going down. As much as you may want to see the best in every person that you know, I wouldn't overestimate what someone can do for you. The most important thing is to believe in yourself. And the Sun, conversely, also forges a really positive angle to Pluto. Now, I know Pluto has been a real irritant to you over the last 3 years in its square to Uranus, and they are going to be in a little bit of an attitude situation in the early part of this month. But as May goes on, they're stretching apart, and I think some of that tension or emotional tension in close relationships is going to make way for a much greater sense of understanding. And this angle between the Sun and Pluto helps you to delve right down into the deepest depths of your emotional roots to really figure out who you are much clearer, and that's going to help you to inform your choices in a much better and more productive way. But I can't change the fact that there is a full moon on the 4th. Now, of course, Saturn is now in the part of your horoscope to do with the way you think and the way that you communicate. But in recent years, it had been working through your sector of resources. And that area took quite a pummeling for you. And this full moon suggests that you may just have to revisit the balance between what you're thinking about in terms of your future, in terms of investments, savings, pensions, property, and how it impacts on your everyday finances. And of course, you do love those treats. You may decide to treat yourself to a big ticket item, especially on the back of that square between the Sun and Jupiter. But if you do, be mindful that you're going to have to pay it back and the impact this is going to have on you longer term. Now, on the 8th, Venus moves, and it moves into a part of your horoscope which is very much to do with the world of work. Now, you're the natural ambassador of the zodiac, and your charm and diplomacy often open the door of opportunity for you. And that's going to be the case, without doubt, now that Venus moves. But just a word to the good, it is going to be in opposition with Pluto between the 19th and the 26th. So if someone makes you a knockout offer, if it affects where you live or how you live there or your home life, for example, if it's a job where you have to be away from your abode a lot or your family, then just think, is this the right thing for you or not? Because they may make it very enticing indeed, which could prove to be hugely tempting. You may even find yourself attracted in a romantic context with someone you meet through your work or family life. But there again, there could be a catch. Keep your eyes wide open. Now, Mars is going to be moving on the 12th. But this is entirely a good thing, especially if you are wanting to make your world much richer by travel, higher education, checking things out, being more active, being more rugged in your approach to life. If you enjoy sport, this alteration is terrific. However, Mars is going to go into an almost instant opposition with Saturn. So any hopes you've got to expand need to be weighed against the reality of a situation. And the best way you can be mindful of the reality is by doing your research. So if you're a bit too impulsive, you could find yourself getting caught out, especially if you're thinking about buying a new vehicle. Quite frankly, I wouldn't do it in week 3 of this month. You might buy something that never works very well. Same with technology. Put it off until Mars has gone beyond that opposition with Saturn. Now, on the 18th, there is a wonderful new moon. And if you have been beavering away for a long time, your long-term financial resources can look brighter. On the 19th, however, Mercury starts to go into a retrograde. So anything to do with moving around in the world, contracts, travel, higher education, can all have catches to them between then and the end of the month. So again, stay alert and make sure that what you do and what you can affect is really precise and accurate. On the 21st, however, the Sun moves into your sister air sign of Gemini. Ordinarily, this would be a terrific time for you. You'd really be feeling much more upbeat and outgoing about life in general. But like Mars before it and Mercury before that, unfortunately, the Sun is going to be blocked by Saturn, which can cause a lot of frustration. It may feel as if someone seems to serially want to inhibit your hopes this month. And this person that you keep coming up against could be someone that you really feel furious with at times. And you may decide to give them the full force of your honest opinion about their attitude or antics or tactics. But if it's something that really is much more to do with you wanting to go more quickly than the planets, the stars and life seems to allow you to do, perhaps you need to be looking at your levels of frustration, becoming more aware of the potential for practicing mindfulness, just letting your breath out, just being aware of not rushing around too much and wanting instant results. And also, as the Sun squares up with Neptune right at the end of this month, if you are trying to do too much, too quickly, spread yourself too thinly, I do feel that you could end May suddenly feeling absolutely wretched and really exhausted. But if you pace yourself, have realistic expectations, this can be a month of significant changes in all sorts of ways, which can prove to be hugely exciting. Thank you for joining me, good luck, and goodbye for now.